Hi there, friends. These are my junk journals. What is a junk journal, you might be asking? Well, it starts out like one of these. Just a generic dollar store composition notebook, $1. And it turns into something like this. I have another video that will show you a whole flip through one of my junk journals. A kind of quick flip, but just to give you a sense of what it looks like on the inside. But for these purposes, I wanted to tell you why I junk journal. Why do I call it junk? Well, somehow it keeps me from feeling too precious about my artwork. And it gives me permission to use all the little bits of things that show up in my life. Sometimes they're to-do lists, and sometimes they're business cards, and sometimes they're, receipts or photographs or some beautiful piece of something or other that showed up in the mail that I just needed to rip off. Sometimes it's court documents or remnants of homework that never got completed because I didn't help enough. Any of the junk and stuff and bits that comes through my hands in the course of my busy mama life. Every one of us has our own particular version of the stuff that comes through our hands. And somehow to take these bits and transform them into something lovely or interesting or alive just makes me happy. It's also the way that I tend to suck the marrow out of my life experiences. I love the junk journal as a spot because I don't feel any pressure to turn it into something beautiful. It's not about anybody else's eye. It's not about what anybody else would find beautiful. It's about what appeals to me and what's inspiring me, what's burdening me, what's on my mind. Sometimes it's more words, sometimes it's more images, sometimes it's more collage from stuff I collect in my life, but it's where I dump all the stuff that is rattling around in my brain and clogging up my inbox, my metaphorical and not so metaphorical inbox. And eventually what I've come to do is a form of collage work where I take some of the more challenging episodes of my life and create things like this is our Holy Mother of Resistance. These are all bits of trash and pieces of things that I have come across or had or anyway engaged with during these weeks since Trump came into office. And this one is, well, let me get it in there. This one is a mixed media piece that I created while going through a very, very difficult legal battle with my ex-husband. So for me, part of it is eventually about taking the scraps. You'll see there's lots of business cards and court documents and all kinds of things in this artwork. And sometimes it's just the process of taking these pieces of paper and adding color to them and using different kinds of materials to transform them. Something, I don't know why, gets metabolized in this process, and I come out on the other side feeling clearer and with a greater sense of direction. But the junk journal is where it all begins for me. The junk journal is a little spot. Some days I do a 15-minute practice where I just open the junk journal. I've got a few basic supplies. I put some stuff down on the page. I jot down random words. I like to leave some white spots so that I can go in later. And if there's something that I've been thinking a lot about during the day or over the course of the week, I just jot in what I'm thinking about. And I can now go back over time and see what were the relevant themes over a period of time for me. And Some of the pages I develop into something that's a little bit more, feels more complete, and many of them I leave very incomplete. It's really, the junk journal is really about the process. So this is one of the ways that I metabolize my life, one of the ways I digest what's coming at me and find some peace in the mix of all the stuff. Junk journaling became a practice for me because I'd always done a lot of art, but I didn't really have time to jump in to do real formal art practice anymore. I needed a quick and easy way to keep my creative juices flowing in the course of my mama life. And even in 15 minutes, I found that I could get my creative fires going and work on something. And it just kept that part of my life alive and kept me feeling like I could have a creative, fluid, nimble response to the challenges and the stuff of my life. So this is why I do it for myself, and this is why I'm really interested in, I teach it to girls in my girls art class. It's a little bit of a different process. It's more about, well, anyway, that's a different video. But when I'm doing it with young girls, the emphasis is a little bit different. But it's still the same process of discovery and looking at what I love, what comes alive for me, what makes me come alive. It's a process of finding yourself and living into yourself. And there have been many inquiries lately among mothers asking if I would do a similar class for moms. And so I've decided I'm going to do a little mini series called Junk Journaling for Moms. And I think that it's a practice that's really useful for moms because I think it's a place of your own, for one. Many of us don't have a whole room anymore. But it's a place where you get to keep your inner life and your musings alive. It's a place that's fun, that's playful, and God knows we need more of that. And for me, it keeps me really in touch with my creative spirit and a sense of my spirituality that is really embedded in the stuff of my life. And I think that the world right now needs moms that are really in touch with the fire inside of us, really in touch with the complexity of our reactions to things. And we need moms who can really process quickly and get down to the root of the issue for us, the heart of the matter. And for me, junk journaling is a fine, fun, amazing, juicy, and rich way of doing that. So I'm going to have 3 upcoming Sundays. I'll post dates, what they are, and I'm going to have a 3-hour class 3 times just to introduce a very small group of moms to junk journaling. So if you're in my area in Berkeley, California, I'm only going to accept 4 or 5 moms to come and do it with me. I may find a way to record the teaching so that I can make it available for those of you who are more remote or who can't do it at the time that we're together, just in case you want to try it out on your own. It's really fun and it moves stuff in your life. It just does. Anyway, so that's junk journaling. And one of my processes, one of my important go-to places when I cannot figure out how to make sense of something that's going on in my life, I dump it on the page. And somehow or other, I always come out more alive, more clear, and more rooted in myself. And that's what I want for all of us. So join me for more junk journaling. Bye for now.